How can something as beautiful as this be dying? A plague is ruining the land, but the tree of life still stands. Question is, for how long? End is coming to the new world. The tribes stand divided, in need of someone strong enough to unite them, or bring them all down. This is a story with an unusual beginning. So, let's expect an unusual end. Welcome to Biomutant. Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your first style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick a class. Commando, Psy-Freak, Saboteur, Sentinel, Saboteur, Psy-Freak. Psy-Freak chosen. That'll work. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads. But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice. A reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you. Your inner voice, to be precise.
Can't believe you'd choose that thing over me. But I'll be here waiting for you when you have a change of...
That thing? I'm right here. Let me remind you, we're two halves of the same. With the difference being I'm the better half.
Better half. My way is both better and brighter. Light makes it easier to see the best end.
The best end is the one you decide yourself. And it seems we're headed in the right direction.
Guess left can be right, sometimes. Stories of death and the bodies left behind, a reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family, or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger. Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the Tree of Life started to die. The oil sludge is everywhere. To most, it only means death. Some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. Oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. Wow, that's good stuff. Blasting everything to bits. Better than nothing. Now you understand better. Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The Morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Youch! Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks travelled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right, but no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end. He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree. Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He sounds like he thinks she does, despite your heart growing dark. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow. You might be right. Like potatoes, they're packed with energy, an excellent source. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter. You found one. You should be proud. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensine... Only time will tell. You'll need to You'll need a net to catch the... You handle that net like you've never... One day, he hopes the tree will have grown. But... Now that you've seen the Nonos connect, from this day on, one day the land won't be as peaceful. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Mooma comes looking for you. No. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single the tree started to die when the end of the genetic evolution. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Nocco has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. The road ahead won't be easy, but he wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the... You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out of Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. It's a bridge. Just get over it. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves. He's grateful for that. You still...
That's a spark of light in you!
That's right. Smack that spark out before it starts.
You don't have to be so harsh. It's such a little spark.
Take it out now while it's small.
There's always another spark.
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important.
What the what?
Out of Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of The Myriad tribe is likely to be a good match as they act on the understanding of the greater good and have a code of... Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy as the conflict between the tribes... The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and... He believes the tribe Sifus, Myriad especially, will listen to you. Out of Date will be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? Bangarang. Bullseye. They've restroyed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war, or part of the problem. Let's see. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. They've already got word of an intruder, so he guesses the Sifu must be very
Zata is the muito tloho. Kariesne zdace. Paro, ya put
The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start. He welcomes you to the Jagni fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. The wall that separates them from the other side, the wasteland you came from. He guesses the time spent. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still. Sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. Your Muma invented Wung Fu. Originally, it was based. Jagni doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Says there is some darkness in the best of us, even you, and suggests you embrace that side of you and help them vanquish the tribes and let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life. He wasn't sure you'd do that, but it seemed the Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor. Their kin must put an end to the war. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. Even if you see the world differently, you must. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be. Once you've conquered the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu for control of. Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village. Anyway, you'll pass your old village on your way. Shopkeeper claims you won't be able to find better goods anywhere else. Says this is the go-to place. Well spent. The vent hopes your custom is worth. Claims to have strange... The gatekeeper welcomes you back to the fort. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. Middle-lifed. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. Itchy trigger finger. much left of that one. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. He understands Wang Fu is hard. That's why your Muma only has 6 disciples. Doing just one thing helps you get more done in less time. He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. Why not? There's no better time to do what needs to be done than right now. He says that wasn't too bad, was it? At least you learned that you'll drown if you don't swim. But you need practice, lots of practice. Judging by your Muma's look, It seems you forgot something.
Arialoche
You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. The dedication to training is important. You can't rely solely on the fact that Wang Fu is in your blood. You should know, practice makes perfect. She'll see you at the village square. She'll be waiting for you. There will be a surprise for you at the end, too. Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. He's happy to hear that from someone that's a part of the coming generation. You owe it to yourself to protect the environment. You should look for things that are recyclable. It shouldn't take you too long to find some. He wonders what usefulness you found. He says every little thing counts. He can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to... That's the spirit. You can't make it. He'd love to teach you to upcycle, and the scrap you found would be... You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience. You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village square right away. Then you've got a good excuse. You share a responsibility to prevent hardship on nature and the environment. It's your future. She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself before she's gone. That's all she's ever asked of you, that you'll try and give it your best. You've always followed... They look determined. Better watch out. He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think you're going. He's not scared of anything, least of all. There's no way they'll let you pass. He wants to know who you think you are. He says you're right. Nobody can tell him what he... She asks if you're hurt. What happened?
Can't see.
She's there for all disciples. That's her commitment as Sifu. The most important thing is that you're okay. It's time to focus on your training. Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best. He asks if you could help him, too, before you leave for training. He'll talk to her, sure, but you know she wants you to accept responsibility for your own actions and future. He suggests you get going and find him gadgets and ideas for how you can upcycle some old fabrics.